All right, people. Thanks for tuning in today to All Things Division III Soccer with Simple Coach and Jackie. I am Simple Coach. And that there is Jackie. Living the life. Sleeping away. Thanks for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Got a quick round D3 this week. It's Friday the 21st. And happenstance, I couldn't get to this earlier. So I do have some notes I want to run through. I do have the top 25s I want to run through, and I wanted to do so before tomorrow, where there's quite a few impactful games. If you're watching this, I hope you did get a chance to watch the episode of the new show that came out on Friday morning. So this morning, as of this recording, where Nicholas Petru and I sort of go back and forth on a number of topics. It was a really interesting conversation. And then at the end, he obviously talks about some of the highlight games of the weekend that are probably going to be of interest. But yeah, so a lot of content, a lot of stuff for you to watch, all D3, and here we go. Okay, just some couple of things of note that have popped through a number of different places that I track, right? Like Twitter and in my emails and stuff like that. So first up, one of the good guys of the game, really did like seeing this. Ryan Flugrad, head men's coach at Roanoke College, just celebrated his 100th victory with the Maroons. I'd say one of the good guys because I think he's definitely has a way he likes to play and trying to elevate the game. Loves the use of statistics. And I'll link, I think, to somewhere where the original Simple Coach interview that I did with him where we talked about it. And really an impressive guy, impressive program. And again, just wanted to, celebrate the his 100th victory with the Maroons. Okay, so in some news that isn't good, and I'm not even going to go into the details about it, but just because I don't know, and I'm not going to make any judgments, just because it impacts other schools in the conference. Claremont Mud Scripps men's team has canceled the rest of their season. They've vacated their games, and I know that I think the conference is looking at how to adjust for that. Since some teams have played CMS, some haven't. I'm not going to say why it was canceled. I'll just they're not playing the rest of the season, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm just not close enough, and I have not heard other than what I was able to read online. So. Yeah, that's a bit of news that I don't like to deliver. So hopefully they can sort out what they need to sort out and get back on the field quickly. So some other news, some good news. The LaGrange College men's team has officially won the Collegiate Conference of the South regular season. And I'm only bringing this up because it's the first one that I saw that a team has officially clinched their conference. So shout out to LaGrange men's team. Absolutely well done. And there's going to be more to come. Hopefully, if I see these, I don't think I'll be able to capture everybody, but try to recognize those teams that win the regular season because, I still place value in winning a regular season. So. Okay, so on the men's side, only Chicago remains unbeaten at 14-0. And on the women's side, Case Western, the team that I've been saying heads up, are undefeated. So 1-1. And then on the flip side to that, I decided to take a look as to the opposite end of that. So there's 3 men's teams that have 0 points, so have gone winless all year. And on the women's side, there's 10 teams that have 0 points. Not the place where you want to be, but they keep plugging along and keep playing, so kudos to them. Okay, and then lastly, because I'm a mass communicating, I looked at a report and I wanted to see where am I big? Where am I big? And so, as you can see, obviously in the US, I have the greatest market share, but hey, I am big in Spain. Simple Coach is big in Germany. Me and David Hasselhoff. Yeah. United Kingdom. I think the one where I am most proud about is number 11. I am big in Japan. Okay, and with that, by the way, that is a classic tune. That is a classic tune, which that's the sole reason for doing this whole thing on the stupid geographies, which are meaningless, was so that I had an opportunity to put that song on. Okay, now we're going to run through the top 25s, starting with the women. Okay, so here we are to run through the week of whatever this week is, October, well, today's the 21st. The Simple Coach top 25s in the country for women. So let us begin. Okay, so coming in at number 25 in the same spot they were last week, 11-2-1 University of Scranton. They're on a 5-game winning streak, but I will say they have a tough matchup this weekend against Susquehanna tomorrow, Saturday, which should be a lot of fun to watch. 24, Puget Sound, 11-3-1. They're down a spot, 2 wins and a tie against Linfield, which I don't think the tie against Linfield should have happened. Number 23, 10-3 Middlebury, up a spot, win against Trinity. But I will say probably this is going to be their last 2 games are against number 15 Tufts at Tufts, and then they host number 21 Williams. So that should be, those 2 games should be crackers. 22, 9-3-1 Bowdoin, same spot. They've just, since their loss to Amherst and then they tied Trinity, they've beaten Hamilton and Colby at home. So, keeping them in the same spot. Number 21 Williams at 9-2-2, same spot as well. They drew against Wesleyan and then they had a win against Eastern Connecticut. As I mentioned with Middlebury, their last 2 games are on the road. One against a very good Trinity team, and then obviously Middlebury. Number 20, Virginia Wesleyan, down 5 spots. They went 1-1-1 in the last 3 games, including a loss to Washington and Lee, and then they tied Lynchburg. So that explains the drop. Number 19, Emory, up 1. They keep winning and winning and winning. I think they should be 12-2 by the time they face Carnegie Mellon and Case Western on the road next week, which is probably their toughest stretch. So, 18 is Babson, 10-3-1. They're down 2 spots. They had 2 wins after they lost to Springfield. So, number 17 is Trinity U out of Texas, 14-0-1. They keep racking up the wins. They're up a spot. They don't have the most challenging of schedules, which I think is what's hard to gauge. But you know what? They're taking care of business, and that's all that matters. Number 16, Carnegie Mellon, 9-1-2, up 3 spots. Since tying NYU, they've gone on the road and racked in 3 wins against Brandeis, Chicago, and Wash U. And I don't think that's no small feat. So that's a pretty good accomplishment. Okay, 15, down 3 spots, 9-3-1 Tufts. They were 2-1 over the weekend, including the loss to Bates, so which was pretty critical. 14, up 3 spots, Mary Hardin Baylor at 12-0-1. Since tying Howard Payne, they've gotten 2 wins at University of Texas Dallas and University of the Ozarks. 13th spot, Pacific Lutheran, up 1, 3 wins, 2 of which were on the road at Pacific and Linfield. Number 12, Pomona Pitzer, down 3 spots. They went 1-1-1, including a game against Cal Lutheran where they were just shut out 2-0, which, yeah, not good. Number 11, down 4 spots. They've been on a roll. They lost to Montclair, and then they tied Rowan. And the NJAC is that's a bloody mess when teams play against each other. I mean, they beat each other silly, both on the men's side and the women's side. And so that might explain that. Okay, number 10, William Smith of Hobarton Smith. 11-1-2, up 3 spots. They are on a 7-game winning streak. So they keep taking care of business. Number 9, Wartburg at 14-0-2, up 2 spots. They have 3 wins, including conference wins against St. Benedict and Luther College. After that, the University of Wisconsin Lacrosse Tundra at 14-1-1, up 2. 3 more wins, adding to a 7-game winning streak since they tied Wartburg way back when. Number 7, dropping 2 spots, is Messiah at 12-1-2. They lost to York College. Again, something I didn't think I would see. But they did bounce back to win against Eastern and Hood. But now we're getting into rarefied air, so every game, not even the result, right? It's how they play is important. So, or at least in the Simple Coach Top 25s. Number 6, Calvin stays at the same place, 14-0-1. They are now not undefeated anymore. They drew against Adrian and then beat Kalamazoo. So, Calvin at number 6. Number 5, up 3 spots because they're smashing it, is Amherst on a 5-game winning streak. So they're up a couple spots. Number 4, the team that I've been saying, watch out, Case Western Reserve, 12-0-1, same spot. Johns Hopkins in the same spot at 12-0-2. They keep pulverizing. Number 2, Misericordia, same spot, 13-0-1. They keep racking in the wins. And then I'm still deferring to Christopher Newport, defending national champions at 12-0-2. They continue to do what they do. So, okay, that was the women's top 25. Comments, questions, concerns, compliments down below, and on to the top 25 men's team. Okay, so here we are with the top 25 men's teams. According to Jackie. Okay, so starting at number 25, down 7 spots, is Gettysburg. They sort of lost the plot, have 2 losses after they tied Franklin and Marshall, which I thought was a good result. But Carnegie Mellon, down 9 spots. You know, seriously, I'm sorry. I cannot unsee their loss against Chicago. They let 4 in, didn't score. More so, I just thought they looked like a wreck team in comparison to Chicago. So, granted, Chicago's obviously very good, but I think I was expecting more, something to keep it a little tighter, a little bit more offense from Carnegie Mellon. And then they dropped their following game against Wash U. So, yep, down 9 spots. Western Connecticut 14-0-1, keeping it the same. They tied Drew, which doesn't surprise me. And then they got back to their winning ways against Massachusetts Dartmouth. Number 22, Babson at 9-3-2, down 2 spots. They lost to Connecticut, which, interestingly enough, Connecticut and Tufts are now out of the top 25. But then they turned around and beat a pretty decent WPI team, 3-1. So 21 up 1 spot is Bowdoin. They tied Amherst at Amherst. And then they put a whooping on Hamilton by a score of 4-0, which I don't think anyone was really expecting. University of Paywall. I'm sorry if you'd like to find out about what they would like, how they got there. It's going to cost you $5.95. Number 19, Franklin and Marshall, same spot at 9-1-4. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that Hardford game against a pretty decent Lancaster Bible, I like those guys, was a bit fluky, especially since they turned around and just beat Swarthmore. So 18 down 5 at 7-1-3. As much as I love these guys, I can't get over the 2 ties and the loss that they've had in their last 3. I'm putting next to are a couple of not rateds. First up, Lynchburg at 9-0-5. They have, they've tied Messiah, Mary Washington, and then most recently Washington and Lee. And they're showing they have something going on that might be more than what Brad Paisley would sing about. So. 16 North Central at 11-0-4. Again, impressive ties against North Park and then a win against Carroll, and I think they're making some waves regionally. So, number 15 is Clarkson, down a spot at 8-2-3. They tied Vassar, and then they won against Baird. At 14, Hamilton, right, down 4 spots at 8-1-3. Under any, to keep a high ranking, I don't expect 4-0 losses, especially to Bowdoin, who would be lower ranked. But there you have it. Okay, 13, Christopher Newport, another team I like, despite that 9-2-1. They had a big tie against Washington and Lee, followed by an away win against St. Mary's. They're not the team that got rolled by Messiah earlier on. So, number 12. Let me just categorize these. These are all from Sunday, so they don't capture these midweek games. And I'll explain why. Amherst at number 12 in the same spot. They've had an off week. They played on Tuesday against Con and tied Con 1-1, so they might drop a spot or so. I don't know, depending on sort of how the other results are. So this doesn't capture that Connecticut game, but next week's. Number 11, Montclair State up 4. Since losing to Alvernia, they've won 5 straight, including wins, and most recently against a pretty decent college in New Jersey. Number 10, North Park at 11-1-1. They had a win and a tie over the last week, so in their same spot, and the tie was against a very good North Central that, like I said, were earlier ranked for the first time. Number 9, Washington and Lee, down 2 spots, 9-1 and 4. They have 3 ties in a row: Lynchburg, Christopher Newport, and Virginia Wesleyan. And then they turned it on against Averett, winning. I think it was 5-0. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So down 2 spots. Number 8, up a spot. Again, this is another one that is probably going to change this next week. But as of right now, they're up a spot at 11-3 and 2. Cortland State, the Red Dragons. I think they were catching their stride, and they've won 7 in a row, scoring at least 2 goals in each game. Caveat will be for the next one, it's going to be interesting. How does the loss to Oneonta, which was a surprise, it's 3-0, going to play into their future rankings? Number 7, up a spot, Middlebury, at 9-1 and 2. Since tying Bowdoin in the end of September, they've gone on a 6-game winning streak. So got to recognize that. Number 6, Johns Hopkins, same spot. They keep winning, although sometimes they wonder, not convincingly, but they keep winning. And they got that 1 goal thing, although I think in their last game they won by 2. But still hanging in there, so I got to give them credit. Okay, down a spot is Kenyon, and this is more again, sort of like conviction. Sometimes I wonder. They're winning, but I wonder. And I put number 4 up a spot. I put Calvin. They've scored 12 goals in the last 3 games, including a goal against rivals Hope. So giving them credit there. At 12-0-2, Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey. They continue to win in solid fashion. So no changes there. Just like at number 2, I know I'm bucking the trend. University of Chicago, number 1 defense in the country according to Massey's ratings. They took care of Case Western. They obviously took care of Carnegie Mellon, and they do it well. But I have to give the nod to number 1, and I continue to till they prove me otherwise. The number 1 offense in the country, at least according to Massey's mathematical ratings, at 13-0-1 is Messiah. So, I mean, in my book, these top, any of these top 5s in the Final 4 would make for a cracker of a Final 4. So, but we still have ways to go, and tournaments to play, and conferences and bids to get out. So who knows? Okay. So that was the top 25 for the men. Comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, by all means, I take them all. Love the feedback, and hope you enjoy. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in again to Around D3. Hope you enjoyed the rankings, the Simple Coach and Jackie rankings. Hopefully I can get back on track and get this out on Tuesday of next week. Just, I got, like I said before, I got a JOB that sometimes is not FUN. So, just got to keep cranking it when I can. So I hope you enjoy the weekend, watch games, go cheer on your teams. Any comments, compliments, criticisms, by all means, send down below, or probably you know how to reach me via email. I'll see if I can't post it somewhere. And look forward to hearing, and have a wonderful weekend. Peace out. Did I just say peace out? Like what? Okay.